Hello there everyone, welcome back, and I'm here to be talking about Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now Godzilla, King of the Monsters is the sequel to the Godzilla from 2014, but it's also connected in the same universe as Kong Skull Island, which came out in 2017. And it's basically pretty much what everyone's coming to see is Godzilla basically having to fight the three-head dragon. I believe it's King Ghidorah. You have Ronan, I don't really know how to pronounce some of these, but it's basically a big, epic monster movies where all these creatures are fighting. Godzilla has to fight them. And Mothra's also in it, I know that one. And the plot. Let's just get right into this movie. So, now this was really, everyone was so hyped about it, especially from that Comic-Con trailer last year. That trailer was fantastic. The marketing looked pretty solid. The posters were gorgeous. The poster, as you see in the thumbnail, I loved. And it was getting really hyped, but then within a few days of release, the reviews started coming out. It's been getting awful reviews. It has a 40-something last time I checked. And everyone's like, how's that possible? And there's more monsters and blah, blah, blah. But what the film really comes down to, unfortunately, is while the monsters are there and some of the spectacle is pretty cool, oh my goodness, this film is so boring. Let's just start with the plot. Now, the plot is, I'm following it and I'm watching it. I'm like, it's pretty awful, actually. And it's just so stupid. Like, I don't really want to get into too much details, but basically, you have the Tyrion Lannister guy from Game of Thrones, not Tyrion, Tyrion, like the grandpa guy or the dad or whatever. I don't really watch the show that much. You have him in there who teams up with the girl from the Conjuring movies, and they're basically unleashing all these creatures onto the earth because of overpopulation and like how awful people are and how they keep murdering each other. So they basically want to wipe out a lot of humanity and let the monsters reign over the earth as they have once done. Obviously, that's freaking insane and stupid. So you have basically Kyle Chandler's character, who's teaming up with the Monarch, or what's left of them, with Ken Watanabe and all, trying to stop that. And they're like, Godzilla is on our side. Let them fight. And I'm like, what the hell am I watching here? This is so stupid. Now, normally, I was expecting this kind of dumb plot. It's fine. But how's the action? That's really what everyone's coming here for. How is the fight in between all these creatures? I gotta tell you, it was kind of disappointing. Now, the one at the very end is epic, and there's some ones sprinkled in that are pretty alright, but some of these fights, you can't really tell what's going on. Like, a lot of it's either in the dark, where it's thunder and rain, or even when there's a daylight fight, it's a bunch of smoke and, like, like misty orange everywhere. It's really hard to tell what's going on in a lot of these fights, unfortunately. And of course, the one-dimensional, I don't care about characters. Now, I mean, the actors are doing a good job here. I mean, sure, some of the dialogue's pretty lame and cheesy, especially from Bradley Whitford. I really like that guy too. Like, a lot of the actors in here are really actors I really like. It's just, I mean, I didn't really care about any of them, to be honest with you. The only one I really felt for was Millie Bobby Brown, who's 11 from Stranger Things. I felt bad for her because her parents suck. These are some awful parents. And I mean, sure, they get some redemptive stuff and all throughout, like near the end and all, but it's just like, I'm just flabbergasted about how poor this film turned out to be. Now, I don't want to say it's like god awful or anything, but it wasn't as epic and all as the trailers made it out to be in the marketing. And why? It's like the majority of the movie is just these people talking about, we can't let them, we have to kill them all. We need Godzilla, kill Godzilla. They must fight, evacuate the city. Everyone has to leave. And I'm like, what? What is this? There's so much of this garbage. And it's like, the movie's over 2 hours. Like, half of this stuff did not need to be here. And I'm just getting annoyed, because I know that the fights and all are they could be epic and all. Like, you see these other movies where they're just so full of, life and color, and there's so much awesome, fights. Where's the fights? Why is there like 18, they say 17, 18 creatures in this movie. You only really see 4 of them. One of them is there for a few minutes. Another one shows up at the end. So it's mainly between Godzilla and the 3-headed dragon. They have a couple scuffles throughout, but I mean, the fights are okay. And for a film like this, that's not good enough, in my opinion. For a film that has awful characters, bland, like one of the dumbest stories I've seen in a film this year, and a bunch of exposition scenes that don't really do anything for me. They're boring, and the characters don't really work for me. The fights really needed to be exceptionally well done and able to be coherent and able to watch in order to like this movie like a lot. And unfortunately, it didn't really do that for me. I left the theater really disappointed with this film, sadly. Now, I didn't see the original one, but a lot of people that complained about that one seemed to like this one a bit more. But I mean, I can't really talk about the original one. But for Kong Skull Island, it had a pretty generic and basic plot, but it had characters I was able to like. You wanted to get home. You had the samurai guy who was an American who got trapped on that island with another guy, and they became friends, and he wanted to get home to his family since he's been there for decades. You had a lot of other stuff. You had a crazy colonel and Samuel L. Jackson. And it's just so much, at least something, a photographer, some of the original people from Monarch, and you had Khan, who was pretty epic and awesome in that movie, and the fights were great, even though they spoiled it all on the marketing. You had all that there to make that at least a decent, fun experience. Here, you don't have most of that, really. You have some cool fights, but a lot of them are hard to tell what's going on. I don't care about any of these characters, really, except for maybe the kid, because her parents are idiots. And it's just, a lot of it's just really hard to really see what's going on. Overall, guys, those were my thoughts on Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, I didn't downright hate this film. Like, it's really hard to hate a Godzilla film. But, wow, what a letdown. And I feel so bad for Warner Brothers, because I don't know how much money this film's going to make in this crowded season, but with Detective Pikachu opening in the mid-50 range, which isn't, people are giving, same with Shazam. Shazam also opened there. Shazam, everyone's saying it made a profit and blah, 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 but it barely did, if that. It barely made 300 and something million. That's bad for a superhero film. Now you have Detective Pikachu, which it'll be lucky if it gets to 400 million, which I love that film, so that's really sad. And now this will be 3 duds in a row for Warner Brothers. I feel so bad for these guys, because Shazam was really great. I love Detective Pikachu. This one, not that good, unfortunately, but Disney really is becoming the monopoly. Wow, even Aladdin, which I thought was awful, that film made 90 million opening weekend. What? Oh well. In the market and all, they say long live the king. We should be saying that for Disney. They're the king, and they're going to be around for a long time at this pace. Well, with all that said, thank you all for watching my review of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Did any of you guys get a chance to see the film yet? If so, if you want to leave your thoughts down below in the comment section, that'd be pretty great. If you want to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notification when I upload, that'd be pretty cool. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's SoarSable or @SableSawyer. Again, thank you all so much for watching my review, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.